First of all, what is a world? Listen to the expression, my world, your world, right? Okay. How old are you now, dear? More or less. 25? Okay, good. Very good. So when you were, the person you were at 20-something is not the same person you are. So that was a different world. It was a change, your inner world changed. So the world has changed many times. Worlds come to an end. You understand that, okay? Why precisely at midnight December, why precisely at the winter equinox at midnight will the world come to an end? You see that date again? They didn't say 2012, they said the winter solstice, midnight. They're precise about it. Right, what's going to happen on that day? Is that all of a sudden, there's going to be a big tsunami eating up all of New York City? Some other people say that, what happens is that the earth will flip over on the southern pole, will become the North Pole, and the North Pole will become the southern pole. And they said that has happened before. Well, gee, you wish if the earth was to ever flip over, okay, nothing would survive that. Absolutely, everything would have been crushed, okay, for millions and millions of years. No civilization would have survived that. And some people, they have the most foolish thinking, right? And the belief that the earth will flip over and south will become north and north will become south, because the ancient records showing that, they say, when they send that 920 year cycle, right? There are times when, the stars of the southern heaven were in the North Pole, meaning in the zenith. That's correct, yeah? And then now the stars of the North Pole are now in the zenith, right? That simply is a misinterpretation of Kamitic experience, the experience of the ancient Egyptians. Okay? See, they're trying to do their level best to hide the fact that the ancient Egyptians were African people that came out of, the southern hemisphere. See, Egypt today, the Egypt of Egypt was at 24 degrees north to 31 degrees north, right? 7 degrees of length. That was the length of Egypt, right? The southernmost hemisphere was at 24 degrees, 31 degrees is the coast of the Mediterranean. The equator, this is the Tropic of Cancer, right? Okay, that's where Egypt is here, right? This is the equator, this is 0 degrees, right? And this is the south. You with me? So the Egyptians came from the south. They came from the land of Punt, Tanatir. What is today Somalia? See that? And before that, that's the earliest memory, Somalia. And of course, even much older than that, they were further down south, back there in Kenya and Uganda, right? At the Blue Nile and the mountains, of the moon. The oral tradition going back to that, right? So when we were southern people and we look up, what was up was what? The skies of the southern hemisphere. Or the sky in the northern hemisphere would have been invisible to us. You with me? You see that here? Now when we migrated to the 24th to 31st degree northern parallel, right? When we look up, what is the zenith are the North Pole stars in the northern heaven. You with me? But we still call the south what? Upper Egypt. And we call the northern part of Egypt Lower Egypt. Now why would we call the north low, or what is down, when the northern sky is what's up? Because we retain our lingo from ancient times. So the earth did not flip over We just simply have a record for when we were in the south and saw the southern heaven in the zenith. And then we changed it, you follow what I'm saying? Okay? All right? And the only star that is on the equator is the constellation of Orion. That's why it's so important. And Orion, of course, has 3 stars. It's the brightest thing in heaven for us, and it has 3 stars. And if you do your research, go on the internet and put Orion and be patient, because you will get, several million hits. But somewhere along the line, you'll find out the 3 stars in Orion was called in medieval Europe the 3 wise men. Let them keep playing their games. We don't have time for that. So 2012, my beloved, 2012 is a new world order, not the end of the world. The ends of days have always come. The world's always change. You with me? Okay? We are moving right now on March 21st. It's the stars of the constellation of Pisces that rise with the sun. You with me? And we're in the last degrees of Pisces. And in another 100-something years, we will be, 200 or something years, we're going to be in Aquarius. A new age, a new world. But we're not, even though we're not there yet, the energies have been felt. Okay? The energy. Will there, in the next, as the years progress, will there be, severe displacements taking place? Well, the scientists are right. You see that? So tell your friends to get themselves some religion. Because they're going to need inner strength and inner wisdom to survive the stupidity of the people who will not make appropriate, put appropriate things in place. We consulted God through the I Ching. And God says, well, 2012, work on what has been spoiled. Meaning there are things that man is spoiling that he needs to work on. But it did not say it's over. But it might be over for a lot of people. You follow what I'm saying? Because there are some catastrophic things that are coming, but it's not the end of the world. There are some people right now have all kinds of computer models, and they know what's going to be submerged and what's going to be destroyed, And all they are doing this for is to know where to place themselves and their troops and their monies and their wealth to survive whatever comes down. Because that's, the Malthusian view of how to handle things. Okay, folks, thank you very much.